Hello friends. So let's talk about the importance of decision making and how we can make good decisions. Is there any tool available to help us make good decisions? Now these decision making, what I'm talking about here, is more about solving complex problems and taking difficult questions and resolving them through the right decision making. So this is highly can be used at the level of corporates, board level, and even individuals making complex decisions can leverage this tool. This tool is six thinking hats. So when we are making a decision, then we need to have an exhaustive perspective to understand the complete scenario and take the right decision. And then thereby definitely we'll stick with that decision as long as new informations are not there which can definitely modify the decision. Now, to come up to a good rational decision, what are these six thinking hats we need to go through? These are thinking tools. So, normally we talk about the pros and cons, and here, yes, if we are talking about the pros of a decision, then that is when we are wearing the yellow hat. So, yellow hat talks about all the positives of that decision, positive outcomes, and what are the good things in an optimistic perspective which can happen by taking that decision. On the other side, we have black hat, where all the negatives, what can happen, things, bad consequences, what can from that decision, what can happen, and other whatever. We need to think separately on that. We need to create different set of things which can happen when we are wearing yellow hat. Remove that hat, black hat. These are the negatives. So that is normally being done in decision making, the pros and cons study. However, there are four more perspectives which are very important to be given the right weightage. So, after these two hats, we talk about the white hat, which is neutral hat, where we talk about the facts. What are the facts on the table? What are the information gaps in the table? So, based on the information and facts we have to understand that these are the assumptions what may be taken for the decision to go ahead. However, we need to be wary of the fact that these are the factual part, and here we are taking assumption. So we need to segregate the two. It's very important to segregate the opinion from the fact, the belief from the fact, and rely totally on the fact and the information gap what we have here. We need to seek those, and we need to acknowledge. That's the first step, that this is the information gap, and here things can change with the information flow. So the right informations and everything is very important here in the white hat, and these needs to be jotted down on and brought down on the table. So it's important to have that acknowledgement for white hat. Next is the red hat, where we give us time to think on the intuition, what we think, how will things turn up when we go with the decision. Sometimes the intuitions are very positive for a particular thing because of the past experiences and all. So here the right brain is high on function, and we get the understanding that intuition, gut feelings is suggesting that we should go with this decision, or the gut feeling is saying that let's not partner with that person, it will not work. That feeling is something is respected in the red hat. So that feeling part is also not is something which forms the exhaustive uh, decision making process. So within this thing, we need to incorporate that as well. So red hat is also something we need to be careful about. After these four hats, very important, green hat, which is the creativity hat. That okay, we are going with this decision, very good, but let's see what are the alternate solutions or alternate ways to go on this, or let's try to understand that we see the positives, we see the negatives, the risks, how can those be reduced in the alternate solution. So let's try to create and synthesize something with the information what we have based on yellow, black, white, and red. So let's try to synthesize and come up with an alternate solution or and something creative. So that is something very important. Green hat, which is trying to create a solution. And finally, the blue hat is something as a summary where we organize our thoughts and decide, okay, now what next? How to move ahead in this? How to take this further? So, in a very how what weights are to be given to each of the other five hats, and how to go with what decision? How much weightage for intuition? How much weightage for green hat, white, black, red? What weights are to be given in different contexts? So that is something we take a final decision in the blue hat phase, and finally we move ahead with the decision. So that is the tool, very exhaustive. Once we start using it, very friendly, handy, and brings a lot of clarity, especially in teamwork where when we try to discuss and come to a decision, then a lot of chaos happens when people are wearing different hats at one point of time. Therefore, this hat thing gives you uniformity of thinking among the team, and then one by one we can go through all the six hats and conclude a rational, good decision for the firm to stick. So that's about the tool, and it is something which needs to be leveraged, used. The more we use it, the better decisions will come out, better life we can have.